Hi, and welcome to a full body mobility class. This is probably a great class for you if you're not super into yoga, but you know you need to get a little bit more mobility into your life. You want to warm up a little bit pre-yoga class or a little bit of a mobility session post-gym or post-exercise. So let's get into it. We're going to start in a 4-point kneeling. Wrists are going to be underneath shoulders. Knees are going to be underneath hips. And we're just going to warm up with some wrist stretches. So we're just going to make some circles with our shoulders around our wrist joint. You can move the hips backward and forward in space to kind of increase that range of motion if you'd like. Just going as gentle as you need. So you can change it up. Good. Maybe switching directions. I'm just trying to breathe through this whole class. I won't be giving too much breathing instruction, but just trying to make sure you're breathing. And I'll give you little reminders. Good. Now bringing your fingertips to the long edges of the mat. And we're going to just move left and move right. Moving the shoulders left and the shoulders right. Really good. And fingertips towards our knees. If we can't quite make it, you can just bring them out to the side a little bit. And we're going to send our hips back in space. Our hands might come off a little bit, and that's okay. We'll just go forward and backward. Stretching out the forearms here. Good. And releasing our hands back to this neutral position. Wrists are underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. A little bit more into the spine now. We press into the back, rounding up, tucking through the hips, and belly button pulls up. Exhale, drop the chest. It moves through the arms. Going up and down, just in your own tempo. Maybe one will feel really good, and you want to kind of play around there. That's absolutely fine. Just letting this class be a bit of a guide. Some things you might find pretty easy, and some you might be working on. So if yours doesn't look exactly like mine, that's absolutely fine. Just doing your best, and the more you work on it, the more you will improve. Good job. Dropping the chest, relaxing the shoulders. And flattening out the back. Let's work into our scapula. So we're going to drop the chest, squeezing into the shoulder blades, keeping the lower back flat, and then we press up in between. Protraction and retraction. So we squeeze into those shoulder blades. Exhale, press into the shoulders. Good. Squeezing. It might feel a little challenging at first, and that's okay. Good, and releasing. Let's bring our left hand up to the corner. We thread this right hand underneath and drop the right shoulder, twisting our chest to the left. Inhale, sweeping this arm up, going through some dynamic threading the needles. Opening the chest left, exhale, open the chest right. Good. Exhale, drop this right hand up a little bit higher. Our left hand threads underneath, dropping the left hand, opening the chest to the right. Feeling that nice twist to the thoracic spine. Inhale, we sweep the arm up, opening our chest left. Noticing if there's one side that's a little tighter than the other. And exhale, release, bringing our knees wide and feet together. We press our hips back, child's pose. Sitting our hips back in space. This might be quite challenging for some of you, and that's okay. Our hips often carry a lot of tension, so this can be quite a hard pose in the beginning. So if you're finding it is challenging, just doing your best. Feeling that nice stretch into the hips here as you send them back. Walking your hands far forward, dropping the forehead. Inhale, dropping the forearms if they're not already dropped. And we're going to move our chest and our body forward. So our chest is almost skimming the mat, going into a cobra here. Shoulders back and down. Lifting through the chest. We're not lifting through the lower back, and we're squeezing in through the inner thighs. Exhale, drop the chest. Pressing back, child's pose. Making this dynamic now, so we're trying to just go back and forth. Taking your time. Good. A couple more. Dropping that chest, keeping it controlled. You can keep the bum up. Last one here. We roll forward and hold in this cobra. And bringing our hands out to the side in a bit of tenting. Going through a dancing cobra, so we lift our chest and just move left and right in a bit of a creative movement. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Trying to lift with the chest and not the lower back. Excellent. Holding here with our chest raised, we see if we can lift those hands off the mat or off the floor, and we reach them forward. Exhale, drive those elbows back, squeeze them back. Reach them forward. Squeezing those elbows back. Inhale, reach forward. Reaching forward, this left hand, our right hand reaches up and we twist to the right. Exhale, release. Reaching with this right hand, we twist to the left. Exhale, drop the hands. Child's pose. Inhale, rolling up now. So we're going to come onto our knees. We're going to curl. We won't curl the toes, actually, no, not yet. And we're going to twist our arms and twist through our thoracic spine to the left. So we're twisting like this. So it almost feels like you're a wave or kind of in the wind. And then as you reach forward, you're going to rise up and drop those elbows down, opening through the chest. So I'm not arching my back. I'm pushing my hips forward, squeezing into the glutes. Exhale, drop, waving to the other side. Good. This is just getting into the thoracic mobility, a little bit of hip. Excellent. Couple more. And releasing. Excellent job. Let's curl our toes underneath now. And we're first just going to go through some knee raises. So this can be quite challenging at first. I find it challenging sometimes, so I might fall too. But all we're aiming to do is move our kind of center of mass backward in space, so leaning our hips back. You can keep your arms forward as a little bit of a counterbalance, and we just raise our knees off. Exhale, we drop controlled. And drop. Just doing your best. And drop. Sometimes you might not make it, that's okay. You have to catch yourself a little. And drop. Good. Now, when we drop, we're going to add something in. We put our hands on our hips. We push our hips forward and go into just a bit of a back bend. Not so much that it feels super intense and then we're kind of in pain, but it just should feel like we're opening up through our back. Exhale, drop down. Reach our hands forward. Raise up the knees. Even if it takes you a couple tries. And a little bit of a back bend. Going through this a couple of times. Sending those hips back in space, the center of the mass goes back. Good job, everybody. Keeping those shoulders down. I know it's easy to kind of want to hunch to kind of hold you up. Good. Last one here, last toe stand. And sitting your heel down, sitting your bum down, we're going to put our soles of the feet together, coming into a butterfly stretch. We're going to try to sit up and